Down here, drilled a hole, a little bit over a 4-inch hole through the outside soffit, and I put a regular dryer vent with the flaps on there. And I came in here and took it off with a Y, put a flex vent on, tied into my bathroom vent fan, and then ran it at a slope coming downhill all the way to this outside vent in case that moisture starts to accumulate in the pipe. Ran that all the way down, and I'm tying in my other fart fans into the same vent line. I haven't done this before, but we're gonna experiment and see how it works. And then I took this Underwriters Laboratory actual silver duct tape and used that to make my connections airtight, watertight, whatever. Hopefully I'm not going to have a big sweating problem inside this pipe. In hindsight, I probably should have glued these connections, but I didn't know if things were going to move, so this is a test. And so I stuck it together with some zip screws, just like you would with a normal vent, and then wrapped it with the tape. So we're going to see how this works. Get a chance to test it out, and we'll see how much humidity collects in these pipes. I'm going to go down and show you the other end. Okay, looking down here at the other end, this is where my second Y comes in. Got 2 flex ducts coming off of that. Got some strap to hold it up to keep my slope running downhill all the way. Hopefully that's going to work. And got my fans tied in. I had to build a little bracket to hold my fans on 2 of the fans because the vent was facing the wrong direction for the way that it was attached to the ceiling joist. So I'm going to finagle this duct around and go ahead and tie into this guy over here, which is my last one to get tied in. Oh, also I used the bell end of this sewer pipe to connect to the outside vent, and it's a perfect fit, so that worked really well. And then when I put these pipes onto those pipes, I used a heat gun and a pipe clamp and heated it up a little bit and clamped it down so I could stretch that pipe over the outside of that pipe. And then that pipe just fits inside the fitting. Use the standard sewer fittings, and everything seems to work great so far. So we'll see what happens. So now I gotta crawl in through there and get that all connected. All right, over here on the other side of this, ran the pipe through, and this thing fits on here, snug as a bug in a rug. So all I gotta do is get that taped up. All right, so I made the connection here. Not sure if this is even facing the right direction. Maybe it is. Anyways, went ahead and taped this fitting to the box. Not necessarily because I had to, but because it helps keep this attached in case this pipe gets jostled around. Just make sure that it doesn't get knocked off of that. And then I'll show you what I did here. My little bracket, I made a little L piece and screwed that onto the side of the box. Measured out 4 inches to where this first bend is, right here, and then over 1.5 inches, and put a little down bend in it, and made sure that the screws weren't going to hit anything inside, and ran some screws through there so that way it just set neatly right over the top of that stud, and boom, done. And then I also went ahead and put the Romex connector in right there where I put the electrical in to hold the wire. And then this is all going to get covered up with insulation at some point, so I just want to make sure everything was 100%. So when I blow insulation in here, I'm not going to have any problems in the future. Hopefully I won't have to come back up here and fix anything. All right. Okay, so I'm going to try to give you the view of the whole operation here. So this is the one at the very end, and that's the second one. Tie into that Y, shoot on down there, tie into the last one, and out the side of the house. And then I kept it up tight up in that corner because I'm probably not going to ever have to crawl through there. So that seemed like a logical place to put it. The only other place I might have put it is up on up on top of this other side here, looking at it now. But everything worked out good, so I'm going to run with that and see where we go from there. So this is one of the old fans that I pulled out. And I figured since I was doing all this work, I just well put new fans in there. So I went ahead and got a new fan in there for longevity's sake. They should last 30 years easily. So that way I'm not having to come back up here in a year or two and dealing with a fan that's getting too hot. So I'm gonna check this probably with a level before I'm all done. Maybe put another strap on there or two to make sure that pipe's supported. It's surprising how much moisture can actually accumulate in a pipe. When I was running these vent pipes up here for the attic to finish my roof, I noticed that there was already a lot of moisture that had accumulated in the pipes before I hooked them up. So I took those pipes that were going through the roof, plugged the hole in the roof, put the metal roof on it, and then brought the vent pipe up and shot it on down there. And then I actually brought them up through the peak of the roof. Let's see if I can show you that. So they go and tie together and go through the roof in the peak. So that way it's never gonna leak, never gonna get snow buildup behind it. I've never seen anybody do that, but it's my house, so I do what I want. So the last thing I'll show you here is where the vent comes out, the gable end, but it is the first thing that I did. So I screwed this to the pipe, and then I pushed it into the wall, and then I used those screws to fasten that into the siding, and then made this secure and built everything off of that going back. So that way I don't have to worry about the length on that being flush with the side of the house. And the bell end of that Schedule 20 sewer pipe worked perfectly for fitting over the housing on there, and I used a couple zip screws to secure it. So we are all set and ready to go.